We're starting to move a wee bit. Okay, and there's our tours of the Harambe Reserve down there.
Close to them saying they want to shut this down. That's why
Together, keep up with the party in front of you and fill in all the available space. It is not necessary to form a single file line. If you are traveling with a stroller, please have children and valuables unloaded before you reach our stroller parking area.
Lose anything or any one of you guys out on the reserve. Also, please keep your hands, arms, feet, legs, all that good stuff inside the vehicle at all times. Now, we still have quite a bit of light out here, but with the sun starting to set a bit, we are entering night mode. So for the safety of the animals and the comfort of those around you, I just ask that you please refrain from using flash photography, blinking lights, flashlights. Well, the Okapi has those striped legs, striped rear end. Stripes look kind of like a zebra's, but they're not related to the zebra at all. They're actually the only living relative to the giraffe. Both have very long prehensile tongues that can be perfect for grabbing leaves from trees and bushes. But stripes are a fairly common form of camouflage here in the forest, you'll see. Off to our right-hand side, a few more stripes on the backs of this bongo. Bongo's cinnamon-colored antelope, also known as the ghost of the forest, for its very elusive and secretive nature, though not too terribly shy for us this evening. And as you can see, the rest of the herd making their way down the hill towards us here. Should pass right on by us on the right-hand side here. A little bit of a mini migration. Now, as it does get darker, they tend to feel a bit more comfortable. As you can see, they're more comfortable coming out in the open. Under the cover of darkness, it makes it much more difficult for those predators to pick them out. But you'll see, even as they do move along here, they're going to take those super dainty steps to help them remain quiet. Again, they don't want to alert predators to their location at all. Let's let this little guy cross in front of us. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. Moving very slowly, sir.
Wow.
Bongos are actually a rather interesting species of antelope. Both the males and females here are going to have these backward spiral horns up on their head.
Rhino.
That spiral structure is perfect for their home out here. It allows these guys to move quickly and quietly through the underbrush without loudly snagging on every single branch they might come in contact with. Hang tight here, there's a little larger visitor to this watering hole off on our left-hand side, a black rhinoceros, very center of the hill there. And even closer to us here, that's a saddle-billed stork. Gets that name from the saddle shield shape on its bill.
Hey, bro.
On this one, a little clear. Those horns are made out of keratin, which happens to be the same material as our hair and our fingernails. People once believed that the horns of a rhino held medicinal or magical properties, but we now know this to definitely not be the case. Unfortunately, a lot of rhinos are still hunted and poached for those horns even to this day, leaving less than 5,000 black rhinos out in the wild. So very lucky to catch sight of 2 of them back there. But I think we're going to start to make our way out of the brush, out of the little Aturi forest. We'll head on down into the Safi River, see what we can find here in a more aquatic environment. We'll probably want to scan the waters, keep on the lookout for any large splashing or rippling going on. But the waters to our right are looking kind of smooth. But we won't give up hope just yet. The Nile hippopotamus loves to spend most of its time in the river and can even stay submerged up to 8 minutes without coming up for that air. So we'll keep on the lookout. Oh, but they have not made us wait that long. Quite a few Nile hippos camped out to the left of the island on our left there. Well, they're very social creatures, so you'll often catch them together in these large groups like this called a bloat. That's actually a very fitting group name, because when full grown they do tip the scales at up to 5,500 pounds. But this bloat is not alone. Perched on the island next to him, keeping him some company, are a few pink-backed pelicans. Not looking quite so pink at the moment. They get that name from the pink coloration they'll end up getting during mating season. And a few more stray members of that hippo bloat there. Again, just to our left-hand side, you can see the little eyes and ears poking up. All those crocodiles can range between 16 and 20 feet in length, so they are about the same length as a giraffe is tall. And just like all reptiles, they're cold-blooded, so anytime they get too cool in the water, they'll hop out onto the banks like a few of them have. They're just trying to warm themselves up there and match that body temperature, the air temperature around the entry. and we'll probably get the chance to see a few more of those scattered around this way. But in the meantime, we're going to get a pretty fantastic view overlooking the savannah as we make our way down this hill. As things do start to get a little darker out here on the grasslands, many hoof-stock animals like wildebeest and antelope are going to put members of their herd out on guard to look out for predators, while the others will rest and sleep. And some of these species have even learned each other's warning signals. That way they're kind of working together, helping each other out, and keeping each other safe throughout the night. And I already do see a few of those hoof-stock species down this way off to our right-hand side already. You'll see a few Ankole cattle sporting those giant horns. Also called Watusi cattle. They're named after the Watusi tribe here in Africa, who first domesticated that species of cow about 2,000 years ago. Those horns probably look super heavy on their heads, but not to worry. They're actually mostly hollow. They're fairly lightweight. Again, just to the far right corner of the den, all the way back there. Those hyenas are probably just starting to wake up here. They are crepuscular, which is actually just a really fancy way of saying most active during sunset and sunrise. But we're letting the rest of the herd cross in front of us here, these white-bearded wildebeest. A few stragglers up ahead here too. Well, they're still pretty active at the moment, busy grazing and roaming around out here, but once these guys are finally ready for bed, they're going to lay down and arrange themselves in loose rows and clusters, and each wildebeest will actually try to face a different direction. That way they can all kind of look out for predators together and make somewhat of an organized getaway together as well, if any of those predators do happen to disturb them. And in facing different directions when they sleep, it kind of confuses predators as to what they actually are, so lots of advantages to sleep in that way. And it definitely looks like there are a lot of wildebeest over this way, but this is a relatively small herd we're looking at. Herds will get much larger in size when they migrate. The guy there worth a little bit more price-wise than the speckled or painted colored cattle are. But they're really only used as a status symbol, so not for milk or meat or anything else of the sort. Also, we'll let a couple of common eland cross in front of us here. Actually, the largest species of antelope found here in Africa, though these are a couple of females. Males get about double their size, even reaching about 6 feet in height at the shoulder and weighing about 2,000 pounds. Oh, and little baby trying to catch up to mom and big sister. And again, that baby has a lot of growing to do to reach that full 2,000 pounds. And for now, baby's about the same color as mom and big sister out here, that lighter tan. But someday, once he does grow into a full-grown male, he'll take on more of a grayish or beige color. And together like this, they're called a tower. It's suitable. They tower over everything else out here, being the tallest land animal in the world. They'll reach those heights of up to 20 feet. And you might think of it getting a little bit later that these giraffes will be preparing for bed, but that's definitely not the case. They only sleep about 4 hours a day. They break that up in even smaller increments. Only about 30 minutes of that is a really deep sleep, so it takes nothing at all. Oh, now you'll see this is a herd of females with a young. There's a little baby elephant in the very center there to our left. Now, very similar to us, that baby essentially has what's a curfew once nightfall ends. Coming up in the pool to our left-hand side here. Flamboyance of greater flamingos, that is. These are going to be the tallest and the lightest pink of all flamingo species. And they're hatched gray and fuzzy, so they do get this color that we're seeing over time from a diet of shrimp and other crustaceans. Those crustaceans are filled with a substance called beta-carotene that'll turn those feathers that we don't love so much.
There's some ducks.
And because of this, you can sometimes even tell the youngest in them. Well, it looks like we'll have a lot of luck over here. Already seeing a tuft of mane there to our left, a Bontovac straight away, and a very muddy looking rhino up ahead here that's just paid a visit to that mud wallow. So we'll sneak on past this Bontovac here, small antelope loosely related to the white-bearded wildebeest. We'll get a good look at that line in just a moment, and we're actually going to follow behind this rhino on the move here. Again, looks like he just paid a visit to that mud wallow. Out on the grasslands here though, this will be a white rhino. He's a little bit larger than the black rhino, weighing upwards of 5,000 pounds. Despite that extra weight, he can run up to 35 miles an hour when he charges, and that's kind of terrifying. Very poor eyesight on this rhino. Can only see clearly about 10 feet in front of itself, and that is during the daytime, so right now it's even worse. Great. But we're going to move around this way, friends. Like I said, we're going to try to get a little bit better view on this lion off to our left.
The lion on the rock.
You'll see he's not alone though.
See it?
There is a lion that's a little bit further up ahead.
See? Look out there.
Oh, they're probably
Straight up
just
there at
starting
the
to
top
wake
of that
up here.
rock. That's a
Yeah.
lion's
Nocturnal.
nest. No, over there.
Oh, there's that big kitty yawn. But they do love their sleep as well. Even though they are nocturnal, they do spend most of their time, about 16 to 20 hours of their day, they'll just rest. But in a pride, it is the females, like this lioness here, who will do the majority of the hunting. Male lions, like the big guy back there, usually hang back, guard the territory, and look after the cubs. And now that the sun is setting, their eyesight's becoming about 6 times better than yours or mine is. So they're pretty well equipped to this nighttime.